Hi there. Rather than starting the video with me kind of looking at you guys and you looking at me and me yapping around long about what's going to happen, I figured let's just jump right into the video and just get going really quick. I've been looking at ways to just kind of switch things up a little bit in my videos, and since I have like 23 minutes of footage of me drawing this thing, I figured you didn't want to have a whole bunch of extra time tacked on the beginning where I'm just kind of telling you what's going on, when I can tell you what's going on while you watch me draw. Anyway, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that this video angle looks a little bit different than what you're used to, and it doesn't really look like I'm in my normal place, and that's because I'm not. I'm actually hanging out with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. We like to get together sometimes and do some crafts. In the past, we did some card making, and then we made so many cards and we couldn't really sell them very well, and so we kind of stopped doing that and haven't gotten together in quite a while to do any arts and crafts. So we finally set up a little kind of craft day for us, and we all got together and they're working on some crochet stuff while I am sitting here working in my sketchbook. I'm sure you figured it out by now, but I'm drawing a face. It's been a while since I've drawn any type of faces, and I figured it was time to just kind of brush up on that skill. And so I have picked out this little gnome that I'm drawing, and you can see my laptop there in front of me, so I am working from reference. I'm also trying out some new mechanical pencils that I got for Christmas. I got these set of Pentel Graph Gear 1000 pencils. They're really nice mechanical pencils. They've got a nice little heft to them. They're not super heavy, but they're not super light either. They do feel like they're made out of metal, and they're pretty nifty. When you click on the back, the kind of pencil holder part pops out, and then you can click to extend the lead itself, and then if you want to retract that, you can click on the little clip and it'll pop back in, which makes it really nice for kind of traveling with. You don't have to worry about your lead getting broken off while you're traveling. It might be a little bit gimmicky, but I kind of like it. You can see at the top there, I tried out each of the different sizes of pencil that I have. I've got the 0.3, the 0.5, the 0.7, and the 0.9. The lead in there is kind of soft, and it does smudge pretty easily if you want to smudge it out. I didn't really want to do any smudging, so I was kind of careful about where I was putting my lines and everything and where I was putting my hands so I didn't smudge everything up. I found that I actually really prefer a soft lead. I've been using for quite a while the Pilot Color Enos, which come with a pretty soft lead. They don't really smudge too much because they are a colored pencil, and the colored pencil doesn't really smudge as much as like a graphite pencil does. But I like kind of that kind of smooth silkiness of a soft lead as it just glides onto the paper. So I really enjoyed these pencils quite a bit. I think because the lead is so soft in these would work really great with a blending stump. I tend to not use a blending stump just because I never really started using them. So when I'm ready to do shading or anything like that, I just use hatching because I don't think in my mind to grab a blending stump and just kind of smudge everything out to get really nice soft shading. I just barely touch the paper with my pencil and just get really light lines on there for any shading, basically out of habit. One of these days I should force myself to do a drawing and use the blending stumps just to get a feel for them and understand when I might want to use them or when I wouldn't want to use them, that sort of thing, because I think that it could make some really cool artwork. Like I said, I just don't use them because I never have used them. Anyway, let me talk a little bit about kind of what I think I want to get started here for myself. If you followed me for very long, you've heard me say a couple of different times that I want to do more fantasy artwork. And so, as I said earlier, this is a cute little gnome that I'm drawing here, which is a fantasy creature. And I thought it would be really fun and interesting to do a 100 heads challenge for myself. But instead of just a bunch of humans, I would do a bunch of fantasy creatures. To that end, I have started a Pinterest board where I've started to collect some different fantasy creatures. and I'm going to continue to add to that, and I'm going to try and work from that and try and do 100 fantasy heads. I don't plan on doing the typical 100 heads challenge, meaning 10 heads per day, so 10 days to do 100 heads. I plan on taking a little bit more time with it and taking as long as I want with each head. If I want to do something really quick and simple, I'll do that. If I want to do something more rendered, I will do that, because I need to think about what kind of time I have, and I don't have the time to dedicate right now to do 10 heads a day, and I just don't want that kind of stress in my life right now either. So this may take me quite a while to finish all 100 heads, but we'll see how it goes. If you guys are interested, I can share the Pinterest board that I have with the fantasy heads that I've collected so far. I think there's maybe about 30 of them or something like that. And if you guys have other fantasy heads that you think would be really cool for me to try, go ahead and create your own Pinterest board and share them with me. And maybe I'll pick some from someone else's Pinterest board and do it on one of my videos. That might be kind of fun. Okay, hear me out. If you guys can help me get 500 views on this video and I get some Pinterest board submissions to me, I will pick one of those Pinterest boards to do at least one drawing from, and the person who submitted that board will get that original artwork back. Of course, if I don't get 500 views on this video, all bets are off. And obviously, if I don't get any Pinterest boards, all bets are off. I can't do it if I don't get Pinterest boards, and I won't do it if I don't get at least 500 views on this video. All right, let's figure out what the rules are for the Pinterest board. Obviously, you have to have at least one pin on there. They have to be fantasy creatures. Humanoid is preferred, but not necessary. Ideally, I would be able to figure out who the original artist was, but a lot of times that's really hard to do. So if you have that information, that would be fantastic to supply to me. Otherwise, I will do my best to try and find out who that person is and add it into the video. And once you have the Pinterest board created, you should be able to contact me via the email address that is associated with this channel. For my part, if we do get 500 views on this video and I do get some Pinterest board submissions, I will go through and pick a Pinterest board and I will do a drawing and do a video where I do that drawing, and then we can communicate back and forth via email on how best to get you the final piece. I'm going to make no guarantees of what medium I'm going to use. It'll likely be a drawing and not a painting, because I haven't really painted any kind of humanoid faces or anything like that before. So that's actually kind of stretching things a little bit more than I'm comfortable with at the moment. And honestly, if this goes well, perhaps we will do this again and I will pick another Pinterest board and send another artwork off to another viewer. I know I'm not being super kind of aggressive with the number of views here, but 500 views is a lot for my channel at the moment, so 500 views it is. If you're still here after listening to me ramble for like 9 minutes, leave me a comment below of your favorite fruit. I think that mine is probably grapes, mostly because, number one, they're pretty much always sweet, and number two, they're super easy. I don't have to do a whole lot of prep work. I can just grab them off the thing and pop them in my mouth, and I'm good to go. Is anyone else lazy like that? I have apples sitting on my kitchen counter right now that are really tasty, but I don't eat them because they're not already sliced up. I am so lazy when it comes to eating fruit and things like that. It's ridiculous. And it's not because I don't like fruit. I really do. I am just so lazy. I don't want to sit there and prepare it. Anyway, we're getting near the end here, and I'm getting into my least favorite part of this drawing, and that's his beard. I think it looks okay, but it was a white beard in the reference, and I just didn't quite know how to make it look white and still kind of get that form in there. I think I did okay, but I wish I had done things a little bit differently. I also wish I kind of had a better idea of how to do kind of more of those little flyaways and stuff because his beard was kind of scraggly. I mean, it was, yeah, scraggly, I guess that's probably the right word. There were lots of different lengths and lots of little flyaway hairs and things like that. And they were all white. And so that's kind of hard to do with a pencil. So I did my best. I think it looks pretty good, but I wish I had a different technique to use for it. I would be interested to know if you guys like this format of video where I kind of just jump right in and get to it right away and you don't really see my face, you just kind of see me doing my thing. I don't mind doing these, but I also kind of like doing the little kind of talky talk at you a little bit sometimes. But, you know, if you guys really don't like that, then maybe I'll just do this sort of thing. It is a little bit easier for me to do. I don't have to kind of keep switching things back and forth. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really was happy with how this guy turned out, and I enjoyed making him for you guys and for myself. And I guess I will see you guys again next week. Bye. Okay, we'll zoom in. Here's the final product. See you next week. Bye.